You are currently listening to the best podcast to listen and know about all the latest Phantom, all the latest Phantom news, all to do with the Phantom. So let's get into it. I hope you enjoy this episode of The Enthusiast, and you're currently listening to The Enthusiast, where the passion doesn't waver and everything stays the same. In this week's episode, yes, you're listening to the best podcast on the planet, and in this week's episode of The Enthusiast, Giantsize Phantom cover artist Glenn Lumsden will be retiring from doing covers for the series, for the very popular series, and one of the biggest series that I have loved. It has officially gone for 26 issues. Yes, 26 issues. It is just all the covers that he has done throughout all the years. They have just been amazing. They blow your mind just looking at them, and they look fantastic. And heaps more in this week's episode of The Enthusiast. And now we get into the quick fire news. Few publications, we're doing this quick fire style. Few publications have released The Phantom issue number 1958, the Collector's Replica series number 37. And it has just came out in the past Thursday. Last week on Thursday, this issue came out, and this cover was done by Glenn Ford. It is got to be one of those covers that just sort of blows you away, that then really just feels like there should have been more, but then there wasn't. But it's still a good cover. I'm still saying it's a good cover. Just not as well as the other ones that we've seen throughout the year. That's just my take on it. That's just my opinion on it. And it's counting down the original issues. In this issue from 1956 to 1955, we have number 89, 88, 87, and number 86. I haven't been reading this series throughout this year, but I didn't even recognize or even notice that they're actually down to issue number 86, which was published in 1955. Which is amazing and just blows your mind, thinking that maybe you could literally have a replica of a Phantom comic that was originally published in 1955, which is just so good. And coming up on this week's show, as I said, in the creator news, Giantsize Phantom cover artist Glenn Lumsden retires from the popular series, and we take a look at some of the covers that he has done throughout the series. And this mustache is getting so much better. And in the publisher news, in Moonstone Comics announces new cover competition, and I'm going to have a crack at this cover competition. I am going to be designing a new cover that may get chosen, it may not. We'll just see how we go. And new German publishers bringing out new Phantom comics as we speak. New Phantom comics in Germany, which is just fantastic. And I'm going to be talking about a new book that I recently got called Dan Dare hardcover book. And in the merchandising news, we have new figurines could be coming out soon from Quattro Gatos. We're going to be having to have a good look at those. There'll be pictures up on the screen when I get into post-production of this episode. And We also have Mullen Publishing to publish the 2024 line of Phantom Diary range, and we also have a discussion on where you could get Phantom comics from. So we're going to be talking about that and a whole lot more in this week's upcoming news. Yeah, we all call for drinks break, and I just taken a drink. Yes. Next up in this week's creator news. Next up in this week's creator news. In breaking news this week, we have this week cover artist of a very popular series, Giantsize Phantom, Glenn Lumsden, has officially, big news coming out of this week. Glenn Lumsden has officially retiring from being the cover artist on this series, of being on the series of Giantsize Phantom. Glenn Lumsden has retired from being the cover artist, which is just, it's, in one sense, it's very, very sad that in the future we're not actually going to be possibly not be seen any more cover arts or any more covers from Glenn Lumsden. But if we just appreciate that we've had, yes, I'm about to say it, 26 issues of where we've been able to appreciate Glenn's work on a cover throughout. So the series with Giantsize Phantom the first issue was first published in 2017, and up until from 2017 to right now, we've been able to appreciate Glenn's work and really just be amazed and really feel like this is an artwork that just looks amazing. And I'm going to be getting some of the older covers to have a look at right now. So stay tuned. Okay, so as I've already said in many times on this channel, I have all the Giantsize Phantom issues from this series. I have all 26 of them. Yeah. We are completists over here. But the Giantsize Phantom series that we know right now is the second series, and the first series actually was appearing in the 1950s. And now those issues, they're so hard to find. I saw one a couple of years ago at Sydney Supernova, but the price tag was fairly expensive. And yeah, even though it was an old comic, I wasn't gonna buy it. I didn't have much fun going on there. But yeah. Okay. So this comic I'm about to show you is the first issue from the series, the second series to be exact. And now this comic's been around it's gone to many places and it's been around, and it looks a bit like this. That is the first issue of the second series, published by a few publications. Cover art by the amazing Glenn Lumsden. Just look at it. Just look at that beautiful, unique, retro goodness. The only issue in the series to feature Diavolo, which is pretty amazing. And most of these covers, most of these characters that appeared in the first series are actually still being published till now, except from, I think, the Raven. I think the Raven appears in issue 5, I think. The rate. Oh yeah, and that's issue 3 is one of my favorites as well. We'll have a look at that one. Look how good that is. Look how good that is. One of the only issues, one of two of the only issues that would feature the Crimson Comet. So good. It reminds me of 007 James Bond style with the big circle. It's probably where the inspiration probably came from. Yeah. It's just amazing, really. It just is. Yeah, so I was right. So the Raven was first appeared in the Giantsize Phantom Series 2 in issue number 5. And that was the first issue of the series where we saw a book reach over 200 pages. Because most of these books that were being published by a few publications, maybe 6, 7, 5 years ago, and still today, are like 100-page Phantom Giantsize character type comic books. They're like sometimes they're around 100 pages, but sometimes they go over 100 pages, and that's really good because you get heaps more reading materials. Yeah, it's cool. Like in the past, and I think probably in the future, they'll probably do more series type comics. They've done themed type comics. I remember that there was an issue published a few years ago, and it was a themed comic, and all these characters that were in the comic were all created by the same person. And I'm pretty sure that same person was, I think, Jim Dixon or something like that. I think I have that book somewhere. Because it was yellow. Like they've had shadow specials before. Yeah, no, it wasn't Jim Dixon, it was John Dixon, because I've just found it. And this is what the special looked like. Like, just look at that cover. And that was done a few years ago, and that was done by Glenn Lumsden. And then just look at this. This was published in 2017, and the other one is very, very similar to the first one, obviously because they've got both the background yellow, but just look at the. It just looks perfect. It looks perfect. It just looks perfect. It looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. And even up to the... I know I'm dragging this on a bit, but look at the recent cover. Look at that. It's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. It's just so amazing that in this day and age, we can appreciate this sort of elitist cover art and still say, at the end of the day, he's done a very, very good job. I just amazed at all this, and Glenn, you've done a cracking job with all these covers and all the 26 covers that you've been illustrating for this series. You've done a cracking job, and I hope you enjoy a little bit of time with yourself and feeling retired. Without being rude, I hope you are living the biggest and the best possible experience as possible. So, as always, thank you for all these years of delivering stuff like this and covers like this, because these types of covers just make my day. They just make my day, and they are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Even the cricket one that you did last year or something, it's just like you did a cricket one, and then very, very shortly after, or just before, Shane Warne passes away. Like, what are the coincidences with that? And then the best spinner passes away, and then the best wicketkeeper passes away in history. Whew. Life throws you curveballs, and it also throws you a fair few coincidences, and we get a cricket issue, a cricket cover, inspired cover, done by Glenn Lumsden. So good. He's still a legend, by the way. He's still a legend. He always will be a legend, Shane Warne. Warnie! He's still a legend. But there is expected to be a new last story coming out from Glenn Lumsden in the very near future. Also, shout out to Chronicle Chamber, who delivered that news that Glenn Lumsden was going to be retiring, and shout out to them. And as always, thank you for always keeping Phantom fans up to date, including this guy here. And as always, thank you. And as always, to Glenn Lumsden, thank you for all the years that we've seen your covers. We've seen your Phantom covers, whether it be Phantom, whether it be in the Giantsize Phantom series. We appreciate your work, and we appreciate everything you have done for this series. And I love every single one of the covers that you have done. There's not one cover that you can say that, oh, I sort of don't like that one. They're all very, very good. And I think it's also one of the reasons why I have all the mini folio prints that Glenn Lumsden has done. I've got them all framed up in two humongous frames, and they just look beautiful when they're framed all together. And coming in next up, in this week's publisher news, Moonstone Comics over the last week or two have announced that they will be doing a Phantom cover competition. Yeah! They're going to be doing a Phantom cover competition for their upcoming new series. If you didn't watch last week's episode, go watch that, or you can hear me say that Moonstone Comics are coming back. The Moonstone books, the publisher that we all wanted to come back, are coming back in 2024. And it's going to be amazing. They've got a new cover competition going, it is going on right now, and submissions close for the cover competition on the 30th of November. An article published over, shout out to Chronicle Chamber for this, an article published over at Chronicle Chamber has given us a bit more information about what might be coming from Moonstone in 2024, which is amazing. There might be a crossover coming. There might be more Phantom stories coming. There might be more Mandrake Magician comics coming. And it's going to get better. Awesome! It's going to drip some awesome sauce on it. And if you want to submit a cover for the competition, the link to read the article will be down below. I'll be posting that link down below, and probably in the comment section. You can now watch my show, The Enthusiast, on Anchor and Spotify. The Enthusiast, where the passion for the Phantom doesn't waver. New episodes weekly on Tuesdays, and I will also be putting a link to the podcast in the description down below. Okay, we have a new Phantom Cave announcement. The Ibis Mystery full saga will be coming soon to Phantom Cave reviews. And there also will be and to make things even better, even things that are not even things to make things even better, we will be hosting a week-long live comic book reviews only at Phantom Cave Reviews on YouTube. So stay tuned for that announcement. There'll be more to come with that. And the Ibis Mystery books will be coming soon to the channel as well. We're going to be reviewing all the 4 original parts and all the 5 and the new sequel as well. And we also here at in the Phantom Cave Studios, we have a new book. Yes, we have a new book to discuss. Once I get myself organized here, we've got a bit going on here. Got some art stuff going on here. We've got some Phantom comics and some pencils rattling. So I got this new book. I found it, and it's a old book. It's a Dan Dare annual from 1973, and it was published in Australia. It was published by IPC Magazines, Fleetway House, Farrington Street, London, England, and was distributed among Australia and New Zealand by Gordon and Gotch Limited. And it is just amazing. It is in full colour, and the images sort of remind me of Flash Gordon. They remind me of Flash Gordon and the stories that they do. Like just how the colors work and the scenery in the cover, in the interior art, just look amazing. Just look amazing. It's so colourful. 2 action-packed adventures of the fiction's greatest space hero. Don't know if Flash Gordon has anything to say about that. Yeah, so we have that, and we also, I made a post about that book as well, and there's a bit of information as well that I researched as well. And you can now get 14% off on all things Hermes Press with the code Enthusiast 2022. Whether you are looking for something new to read on an afternoon after a hard day's work, there's always something for you to find at Hermes Press. In the merchandising news this week, today on one of the Phantom Facebook groups, Curatro Gatos posted a picture of an upcoming Leah Phantom red figurine. And that it might be coming soon to Phantom fans as a licensed product, which is going to be, I've said this enough tonight, it's going to be fantastic, it's going to be amazing, and it could be licensed. Currently, the license is currently pending from KFS King Features Syndicate. And in other merchandising news, Malon Publishing is expected to come out with their 2024 range of Phantom merchandise, including the 2024 diary, the limited edition print, and more. And it sort of just reminds me of when I bought the 2020, I'm looking at them right now, I bought the 2017 Malon Publishing Phantom Diary and the 2018 Malon Publishing Diary from the news agency, and they look like a bit like this. They're amazing. Really, really good quality. Malon does very, very good quality books. That was the 2018 version, and now this is the 2017 one. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We also, I have a video of these on my YouTube channel, and it's called, I think, these diaries will live, or these diaries won't die, or something. And we also have a discussion, where can you get Phantom comics from? In this week's discussion, I talk about where you can get Phantom comics from, and you can get Phantom comics from the following websites. And if you know of any other places to get Phantom comics, then you can comment those places down below if you would like to. Some of the websites include www.phantomcomic.com.au, that is Few Publications website, hermespress.com. You can get some books at amazon.com.au. You can get the Regal Publishers comics from www.regalpublishers.in, but the Regal Publishers comics and the Shakti comics, they only ship in India and not internationally. So that part of that part of the scheme isn't great, but Regal sells Phantom comics to Few Publications, then they list them on their website, and then they sell out like firecrackers. They sell out like no tomorrow. Now, other places where you might find some Phantom comics are the Facebook Marketplace, your local comic shop, if you have one, Comic Cons when they come around, local news agencies if you live in Australia, eBay always has some good stuff. They have auctions going on right now, and I think Reen White's auctions are still going on as well. Antique and collectible shops, book fairs, sometimes you find them, sometimes you don't. I guess it's a bit of a luck of a draw. I guess like last year I found like 20 odd Phantom comics, and it was just luck of the draw. I didn't find any this year. We also have buying Phantom comics and other memorabilia from Phantom fans. Phantom groups like Trader Joe's, Buy, Swap, Sell on Facebook, you always see some great stuff from actual people that collect the Phantom and all the stuff that has to do with the character. You always see great stuff on there, but you just got to be quick or they'll be gone in a flash. I tell you this, it's the same thing goes with the new Regal Publishers Phantom comics. When they get put on the Few Publications website, they go really, really quickly. It's like someone's trying to have a garage sale, and it's like someone's just trying to, they sell out in 15 minutes straight, and it's like someone's just trying to have a garage sale. But it's just quicker. It's quicker, and it's online. Someone having a garage sale. Hey, mate, I'm having a garage sale. Next minute, there's lots of people. It's just quicker, it's just online. And what is your favorite Giantsize Phantom cover from Glenn Lumsden? I know there's a lot to pick from, and there's a lot of great ones in there. A lot of great ones in the 26 that he has done for the series. And as always, you can, if you enjoy Phantom Cave reviews, subscribe to see more great videos like this. And as always, keep Phantom Caving, stay safe, and you'll see me next time on The Enthusiast with episode 8. See yous, and have a good time, stay safe, keep Phantom Caving, and bye-bye.